Hello.
Hey. How
How's
are
it
you?
going?
Good. Whoa.
Yeah, we're gonna get this infinite tunnel thing going when we do this. Yeah.
Hey.
How's it going?
Good.
Whoa.
Row your boat.
Yeah, we're gonna get this infinite tunnel thing going when we do this. Yeah.
Hey.
How are you going?
Good.
Whoa.
Row your boat.
Yeah, we're gonna get this infinite tunnel thing going when we do this. Yeah.
Hey.
How are you going?
Good.
Whoa.
Row your boat.
Yeah, we're gonna get this infinite tunnel thing going when we do this. Yeah.
Hey.
How are you going? So yeah, if all of us mute the YouTube video, then it won't do that. But I just wanted to have that available so that you all could kind of see what the host looks at, and then also see, you know, what the audience sees when you do certain things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Jane. And so that's also to preface, you know, normally when I host these things, and whichever one of you is going to actually do it on the day, I would recommend doing the same thing. I don't normally have YouTube running while I do this because I really want my machine to be solely focused on running Restream. It's just a way to, you know, mitigate the possibility of crap happening as much as possible. So yeah, I mean, you all can probably.
Turn mine off?
No, it doesn't matter right now because, you know, we're not. Like, it's possible that because my machine's doing a couple of things, it's possible that my video's coming through grainy or whatever. But because this isn't for public consumption, it doesn't really matter, you know. But on the day, that's what I would recommend.
Okay.
So, and in fact, for tonight, I think it would be good for you to have it open because then you can kind of see how the things interact with each other. So yeah, I can't show you sort of from those directions that I sent you, that first part of how to sign in and access the event. I can't show you that because we're already in the event. But it's fairly self-explanatory. And after Super Free Wednesday tomorrow, there are no more live stream shows for the week until Saturday. So I can give you all control of the account Thursday morning, and you can have it for the weekend. So you can log in and out as much as you need to, you know, try things out and just sort of play around.
Awesome.
So
Thank you.
Yeah. So I'll send you that stuff like first thing Thursday morning.
Cool. Yeah. And we can like rename it and like put all the slides up and stuff that we need and upload all the videos that we need and stuff.
Yes. Well, you'll be able to upload the, so this is one of the things that I'll show you. So you'll be able to upload some of your smaller videos, but the bigger ones, you have to do it when the show is happening. So let me just kind of show you, just following my cursor around here. And I know it's kind of small, but you'll be able to more intimately. You'll be able to better acquaint yourselves once you're able to sign in on Thursday. But you know, so this is what the host sees. So first you can see that I've got a list of everybody's faces. I also have kind of displayed in the same way that participants are, I have the screen share. That same thing will happen if and when I add a video, which I'll show you how to do in a second. These little blue looking doohickeys in each of the display monitors, that allows me to enable or disable different participants. So it's the equivalent of in Zoom letting someone join the meeting, right? So this is how you can kind of stage manage and control the flow of who's in the room at what time. You can also see, and I don't think this is available. Well, you might be able to see it for yourself on your end, but you can also see over each person's thing. There's a Restream tells you how strong their connection is. So you can see that mine is kind of weak right now because I'm making my computer work too hard, right? But both of you are looking 10 out of 10, looking pretty good. So that's another, if a performer is having issues or starts freaking out, you can quickly look at those things and see, oh, maybe such and such person's internet connection is kind of weak. Is your iPhone currently connected to your Wi-Fi? If it is, go ahead and disconnect it. It'll probably help. Some small things like that, right? But that, you generally won't need to worry about that. Mostly what you're dealing with are these little logos right here. So, I mean, we have the self-explanatory ones that are similar to Zoom, right? Mute, turn video on and off, share your screen. We all know how that works, right? We have this invite guests button, which that link that I always send you all to, you know, for the participants to access the room, you can press this button to access that link right here. But I'll send that link to you in advance, but in case, you know, it's 5 minutes before the show and somebody can't find it, you can quickly access it here and send it to them. This right here, this add source button, this is the main way for you to play your longer videos. So, you know, your cold open video and your sketch portion, so long as they're downloaded to your hard drive, you just click on add source. And as you can see, it'll give you a few options. I'll click on local video, and then I'm not going to do it right now, but it'll think about it for a second, and then it'll, yeah, you know, just the same way that you would if you were uploading it to Google Drive or whatever. Just go to the folder where you have it on your desktop, and when you click open, it'll become available the same way that my screen share is right now. And when you click on the enable button, it'll just start to play. So at the,
and that doesn't show up,
top,
right? That like it won't show, it doesn't show up, right? It's all behind the scenes.
Right. Yeah. None of that is visible. The only reason you were able to see it is because I'm sharing my screen right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So really at the top of the show, you can already do that process for the cold open video, and it can be sitting there ready to go so that when you start the stream, you just click on the enable button and it starts playing. Which is, you know, it's pretty simple. So
you're saying use that for the cold open too? Or?
I would recommend that. Yeah. Because so there are size requirements. So for the overlay videos, which is another thing that I'll show you in a second, those have to be 150 millibytes or smaller, which is pretty small, right? The credits videos that you all have always sent me have always been of that size. So I usually do those that way. But generally the cold opens and the sketch portions are too big to do that. I think there was one time where the video that you all sent me for the musical guest was small enough, so I did it that way. But that really depends on the file size. But both routes are just as reliable. It's just the overlay video route lets you do it by clicking fewer buttons, which never hurts, right? So yeah. So for the cold open and the sketch portion, all you really need to do is click on add source, go into your hard drive, click the file, press open, and then press play when the time comes. That's all you have to do for those bits. Let me show you these other couple of functions over here. So chat, as you can see, this brought your chat from YouTube in here. So you as the host can see the YouTube chat in real time. You can also choose to, I'm not going to do it right now, but if you ever want to display the chat in the stream, you just click this button, the chat overlay button, and then the YouTube chat will be displayed on screen with the rest of the thing. That's not as useful for you because on YouTube you can see the chat anyway. But if this were a multi-stream, let's say, and we wanted to take the chat from Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube and bring it all together, that would be the way that you would do that. So really not as relevant for this.
And sorry, when we hit chat overlay, does it do the most recent one, or do you get to choose which one you want to put up on the screen?
It'll start, so you can see it just adjusted. It's not displaying anything right now because nobody's talking, but if someone were to start talking right now, it would start to display the feed in sequential order. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there are ways to put someone's text up on the screen that I've been curious about. I'm sure you'll go over it.
So you're probably thinking of this captions.
Yeah.
So I trained Sonny in how to do this 5 hours ago. So that's why his thing's here. So these are really easy to use. All that you have to do, so where it says primary text, that's what will display on the top. Secondary text is what displays on the bottom. So, you know, old school sketch show, musical guest, Was Timmy the musical guest, or did he direct this month, or both?
He directed.
Cool. Well, yeah. So I just entered it. It appears at the top, or rather, it appears right here, and then I just click show, and it pops up. So all of those you can preload in advance. So if you know which ones you want to use, just type them in, have them sitting there, and then press show and hide when the time comes. But what I've normally done for these is under the graphics section here, you have the ability to change the color palette. So I've typically, to make it match your logo, I've typically brought it to this purple end of the spectrum. And then, yeah, that's probably about right. And then when you do it, it'll display with the color. Ta-da!
I saw it said logo on one of those. Is there an option to like upload said logos?
Oh,
I think back in graphics.
That's actually, yeah. So hold on. Yeah. So this is, so what we've done for this, so you can see this pit watermark that's in the corner here. If you create a similar asset that's like the old school logo, but transparent in the upper right-hand corner, we can display it the same way as we're doing right here.
Neat.
Which is a handy little thing. So if you have the means to do that, without it creating too much of a headache, that's definitely something we can do.
Is it just a PNG? I think we already have one.
Yes, but it would need to be sized so that like this whole frame is the image, and then this pit thing is just in the top right corner.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Yeah. The video clips, this is where the overlay videos go. So as you can see, these need to be MP4s. They need to be 150 millibytes or smaller. To upload one of those, you just click on this little plus sign here, and then to play it, you click on it like I'm going to do right now. So when you play one of those are overlay videos. So what that means is it will cover everything else. So if anybody's talking or any visuals, when you play one of those overlay videos, it zooms in and covers everything else. So it could also be a pretty convenient way with that credit sequence to end the show, right? When you're in that final moment where everybody's like, is it time to sign off or not? Just press the overlay video and you're good. It can bring things to a close pretty neatly. Also, background, I mean, if you want to, I don't think I have it in here right now. I think I had to delete it for space during SoloCom, but you can put the old school logo back in this section and then it'll display in the background. I think we've done that for past shows, but that's similarly simple. Just click that upload button and it'll do it. But those are really all of the things it can do. It just has a few simple functions that can help make things a little more artful. The other thing that you have available to you here is the ability to very quickly change the layout just by clicking these different buttons. The layout will change. And so, it's a good way to quickly rearrange the faces. I think what we've always done for these shows and what I generally do is, when there's several faces on screen, I use this first one just for the sort of standard zoom arrangement. But then, if you want to make it a little more intimate, you can do that as well. That's the kind of stuff that you can do on the fly based on what's happening on screen and what you think will look good. So yeah, those are all the basic things. Any questions about any of it? Do you want me to go over any specific things again? Or
I was wondering, when you hit the source button, you said you can load it and have it ready to go. And so on your screen, it's going to be held there, and then you press play, and then it will override. Or when you click on it, does it instantly go in?
Good distinction. Yeah. So when you add a source, it's going to appear basically in another box like these faces, right? It's
Oh,
going to be
yes.
sitting in one of these boxes.
Okay.
Then what you want everyone to do is everyone turns their video and their audio off when you play that video, because otherwise it would do what's happening right now of like the video being at the top and all of our faces at the bottom.
Right.
So that's an instance where either the host can disable everyone by pressing these blue buttons, or everyone can just turn their video off. And that's that portion of the show, because when Restream, as you all saw last time, because Willem had those problems, the point in the show where Restream is working the hardest is when it's playing that big 2 GB file. So the more you can just have every performer leave the room, just leave and get out, because every person who's sitting in there, Restream is working on collecting that information, right? So ideally, during the sketch portion, the only person that's in the room is the host playing the video for that 20, 22 minutes or whatever it is. That's the way to make it as foolproof as possible.
Yeah, that sounds doable.
And when you're turning off that blue button, are you basically kicking them into the weight room?
They're still here. I'll do it to Slaney right now, so you can see that I'm actually not sure if Slaney can still hear me.
I can.
Slaney can still hear me. Great. So she's still there, but I'm basically just turning her into a phantom for a bit.
Gotcha.
But she is still. So that's an instance where if you do that, Restream is still paying attention to her and working with her, right?
Yeah.
So really, you want them to just get out. Right. And in the event that if there's another playback issue with the sketch portion, the solution that you all found of using the screen share, that's what I would also recommend as your fallback. I mean, the playback won't look as smooth as it would if you used the add source option, but the screen share will work just fine. So that's your backup plan.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I actually did that add source.
Oh, great. Cool.
That's how I couldn't remember if that was how it went. When I uploaded the file,
Yeah, I mean,
I blacked out.
To be honest, I am not sure what happened with Willem's thing. I've been trying to troubleshoot it and figure it out. I still haven't really gotten to the bottom of it, but the fact that it worked for you on that occasion is great. I mean, it means that we're good.
I think it's because it was I had directed, so the file was on my computer already, so I was just sourcing it. I guess you don't have to be a host though to do that.
I think that other folks can do it too, so long as the host kind of approves it.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So Willem probably said, Willem probably allowed me to do that.
Yeah, you added the source and then he clicked on the enable button to let it play. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because I wasn't sure. Because it happened, and I was like, well, okay, I guess, I guess it worked.
Yeah. So I mean, that's why I would recommend. That's why the morning of these shows, when we do these shows that have kind of these big muscular pre-taped portions, I like to log on the morning of, download all the files onto my hard drive, and just log into Restream to do a test. Which again, you'll all have access to Restream, so you'll be able to do that. I can even set up kind of a dummy event for you that'll be unlisted on YouTube if you want to fully stream it and see how it looks.
Yeah, I feel like if we have it Friday, maybe we'll run our dress rehearsal through it.
Yeah,
great. Yeah,
perfect opportunity.
I was hoping that would be of interest, because I think that's a great way for everybody to get acclimated. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. What time is that rehearsal? Because I can create that event for you in advance, so it's ready to go.
Oh, awesome! It starts at 6:30. We
6:30.
probably won't start that until 7, right, Jane? 7?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's normally about like 15 minutes of checking in. But do you have, so if it says 6:30 start, do you have to start it at 6:30?
No, you can start late. Yeah.
Okay. Not that Not for the show, but for the improv practice.
No, yeah. It can start late. It's just that, the scheduling it thing is more for the timer, the ticker in YouTube. And the main reason why I would want to schedule it in advance is because I can schedule it in advance for you and then go into the YouTube account to make it unlisted so you don't have randos watching your rehearsal.
Cool.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yes, I was wondering. So you're scheduling the YouTube live event, and when we initialize ourselves as the host through this Restream account, then that will the YouTube live link starts right on its own, right? Like we don't have to go in and start it necessarily.
Yeah, so there are those, great. So I can show you some of this here, but the rest of it's kind of in those instructions that I wrote. So you can see over here, this little calendar logo that says events on it. So when you first sign into Restream, you'll see that logo on the left. You'll click on that logo, and then in front of you will be a list of scheduled events. Yours will be at the top. Just click on Enter Live Studio next to that event, and then you'll be on this screen.
Okay, great.
And by being on the screen, you mean that would start the live feed to YouTube?
No. So where this button right here says End Stream, when you first come in here, it'll say Go Live. So you can sit in this room and get ready, and then click Go Live when you're ready to go. Yeah.
Awesome. And and when we hit Go Live, we want it to be with the pit countdown thing, right?
Yeah, it would be like Go Live, and then after that, press the overlay video. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Seems pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
If you ever need me to host anything.
Yeah, I mean, hey, if you ever wanted to do a Super Free Wednesday or something, just let me know. I mean, because I always
lighten the load on Willem.
Willem has that thing on his back. Yes. And Kit too.
I had a question about not that this would happen, but to plan for it. If for any reason the host has like a really bad internet fuck up or something, is there a way to transfer host in the stream, or that would be one of us would have to go and like log in to the Restream account, or that's not possible?
Yeah, so there isn't really a way to hand it off during the stream. But one other thing that I'll say is sometimes, and this has happened to me with Restream in the past, which is why there have been a few occasions where I've sort of texted Sean and been like, does it look okay? Because Restream will keep working in the background even if your screen looks frozen. So like if your laptop, if your laptop gets overwhelmed, like if your hardware is not really totally ready to do this, it's still streaming the show and the show still looks good. I mean, there have been times when we've been doing these shows and my laptop has just been frozen and I've texted Sean and been like, hey, are we good? He's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to touch it. I'm just going to let it do its thing. So if that happens, don't freak out because it's totally normal.
It's weird on Super Free Wednesdays. Sometimes we'll have like a ghost player and then I'll go back and look and they'd been there the whole time. You know, like we don't see someone for like a scene and we're like, I don't know, we don't know if you're there or not, you know, and then, but
yeah. And
so the whole audience is like, they're there.
Like, look, if we all had thousands of dollars to invest in doing this, we would all be running this on much more powerful machines, right? But we're not. So that's like the Oscars. Why. Right. So that's why I would recommend having one member of the team with their eye on the YouTube feed, just sort of texting the host and letting them know, hey, no, actually it all looks fine. Like, don't worry about it. Because odds are 9.5 out of 10 that if your screen freezes, it still looks great.
Yeah.
Cool. I have a work laptop that I can run. I can keep the YouTube going to check quality if
perfect.
If we're all in the Restream.
Yeah, like what would you recommend, Matt? If I was to be the host of the show and also teching, does that add a lag to like my computer potentially? Would it be easier to divide and conquer?
No, because I would say anything you can do to limit the number of participants in the room is the thing that helps most.
Yeah.
So,
That sounds right.
if you hosting and teching means that there's one fewer person in the room at all times, that's the method that I would vote for.
Okay.
Because it just means the Restream's doing less work.
Yeah, that sounds like our option. Like I have this new computer. It's totally happy doing Restream and I have 5G. I feel like that will.
Yeah. If that makes most sense. I'm excited to like tech again, but if it improves quality, then that's and
also like I mean, again, most of these shows I was teching and I wasn't on camera once, right? So we've seen that it can work. I think it's just a matter of really the biggest thing to me would be which of you has the machine that you feel most confident about. I guess that would be the machine and the internet connection that you feel most confident about. So because I'll also say, just because to be 100% sure, what I normally do when I run these things is I disconnect every device in my apartment from the Wi-Fi. I use an Ethernet cable to connect myself directly to the router, just, as foolproof as possible. I'm not saying that you have to do that, but just so you know, those are the things that I do to be safe when we do these things.
I don't, my router's upstairs. I don't have access to it, but I'm not far from it and it gets good. I'm coming in.
Coming in strong. Yeah. Great.
Before I forget, I also had a question about the ticketing purchase. So I know we're trying to do like an HBO on-demand kind of thing. How long, if they purchase a ticket, how long do they have to watch it?
Well, so I mean, for ticket holders, we have not deactivated any of these videos so far. So like people who bought tickets to the first one in January, was it, or February, like they could have chosen to watch it this past week and that would have been their prerogative, right? So we can keep that going really for as long as you want to. It's more a question of how long do you want to keep selling tickets for? Which again, I mean, I'm down to experiment here. I mean, I don't really have strong evidence either way of what would or wouldn't work. So if you all have strong feelings about it, I'm kind of game for whatever.
I mean, maybe two separate ticket events or something, like a live watch party ticket and then a video on demand ticket. That is like a endless buy date. And then, but the live party has the 6:45 box office closing time or whatever to process. And then like at 7:15, we start the video on demand where they can watch it at any time or something.
I mean, I think it would be, we could posit it for like selling purposes of like, you can buy your ticket up till now and then the next day be like, hey, this is on demand ticket purchases for like the next 2 weeks.
Right.
But still have what you said in the background actually of like, people can still purchase the tickets.
Yeah. We'll just market it as a separate day option or whatever.
Great. So what I'll do is, in the transition of being able to log on and create a new inventory item, which I should be able to do right at the beginning of the following week, I'll just, in case there are any individuals who try to buy a normal ticket on like Sunday, I'll just extend the expiration date for that until like late Monday, and then we can put that other on-demand ticket on sale at the beginning of next week.
Great. That's
works.
awesome. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
That makes sense.
I was curious too. Is there a way that we can archive those YouTube live shows ourselves? Like, do we have access to go and like download them?
Yes, I can actually. I did that for all the SoloCon shows a couple days ago, so I can on Tuesday actually. Yeah, Tuesday I could do it. I can go in and download every single one and put them all in a Google Drive folder so you can download them. And it'll be easy to do.
Oh yeah. Okay, great. Thank you, Matt. How was SoloCon? Congrats, by the way.
Thank you. I was really happy with how it went. Yeah, it was just another big experiment, but it went over well. So yeah, I am a little bleary-eyed this week, but
Yeah.
it was good. Yeah.
It looks like you had people from all over the place.
Yeah. A lot of new faces too, which was cool. And yeah, it's been fun to see how one of the positive outcomes of this whole pandemic thing is like, oh, people who never would have done stuff with us ever because they live, in the other side of the country or Canada or whatever, now getting involved, which is cool.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Far reaching.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Thanks.
Now we just got to go back.
Any other things that are
live.
occurring? Yep.
No, I mean, that's all on my end. That's all for me.
Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense. And I'm glad that both of us are versed in it now to help support each other.
Yeah.
And thank you for training us. And I think if we have any follow-up questions, we'll email you. But what you sent was very detailed. And this is helpful to see it through.
Yeah, that description should pretty much step by step tell you how to do everything. So yeah, and I will tomorrow morning. I'll make an event for your tech rehearsal on Friday, and then Thursday morning you'll have the login info, and then it's all yours for the weekend.
Awesome.
Thank you so much, Matt.
And are we able to access this again on YouTube Live? Like if I wanted to watch it again, if I needed a refresher? Well, I guess on Wednesday.
No, yeah, you'll be able to. I mean, we were live for this whole thing at that unlisted link, so I didn't even think about the utility of that. Yeah, so you have a recorded tutorial that you can use. Perfect.
Cool. Yeah, maybe Sean wants to check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will leave it there. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Great.
This was so great. Thank you so much, Matt.
Yeah.
My pleasure. Cool. Have a good night, everybody.
You too.
Thanks, you too.